Welcome to students. Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the next point of the airport engineering topic, that is aircraft characteristics. You know that in last video lecture we have to already completed the remaining components parts of the airport layout. In this video lecture we have to completed all the aircraft characteristics. Let's start. The aircraft characteristics are prime importance to the airport planning and design. The aircraft characteristics is very important as per the for the planning and design of the airport. Next, the following air characteristics to be studied. First, type of propulsion, that is piston engine, jet engine, and ram engine. Next, size of aircraft, minimum turning radius, minimum circling radius, speed of aircraft, capacity of aircraft, aircraft weight and wheel configuration, jet blast, and fuel spillage. All the are important characteristics we have to study. First is the type of propulsion. The size of aircraft is its circulating radius, speed characteristics, weight carrying capacity, noise nuisance, etc. depend upon the type of propulsion of the aircraft. The type of the propulsion is totally depending on the which type of the aircraft we have to use. That is the its circulating radius, speed of characteristics or speed of the aircraft, weight of carrying capacity of the aircraft, noise nuisance, etc. And second, the basic runway length also depends on the type of the propulsion used in aircraft. The runway length is totally dependent on the type of the or size of the aircraft. Next, second characteristic, size of aircraft. The size of aircraft, it involves following important dimensions, that is wingspan, height, distance between main gears, that is gear tread, for wheelbase and tail width. The size of the aircraft, it is totally depend upon the wingspan of the aircraft, height of the aircraft, distance between the main gear, that is a gear pad or gear tread, and also wheelbase and tail width. Next characteristics is the minimum turning radius. It's important because at the time at the its position in the taxiway, and this then at the time of the its for the takeoff or position, it's needed to in the turning from the taxiway to runway. We have to need that minimum turning radius. In order to decide the radius of the taxiway, it's very essential to study of geometry of turning moment of aircraft, because it's very important the turning position or turning from the taxiway to is runway is we have to study it in detail, and also we have to design for the to get minimum turning radius to aircraft. In this picture we have to see, this is the plan, is the minimum turning radius where the path of the main gear is the path of the main gear, its turning position or minimum turning gear is the path of the nose gear. The position of the turning or turning radius is very important to aircraft is coming on the runway. It's continue. The while taking a turning, the nose gear is steered and therefore makes an angle with the axis of main gear is called as the angle of rotation. Then at the time of the turning of the aircraft is this nose gear is the steered and therefore it is makes the angle with the axis of the main gear is also called as the angle of rotation. The point of intersection of main gear and line through axis is steered nose gear is called as point of rotation. The point of the intersected with each other the main gear and line through the axis is known as the point of rotation. The maximum angle of rotation is 50 degree to 60 degree. Then the maximum we have to require the maximum angle for the rotation purpose or for rotation of the aircraft is the 50 degree to 60 degree. Then line joining the center of rotation and the tip of the fastest wing the aircraft is known as the minimum turning radius. The minimum turning radius, it is the line joining at the center of the rotation, and the tip of the fastest wing is known as wing of the aircraft is known as the minimum turning radius. That is joining between the center of rotation and the uh, tip of the fastest of the wing of the aircraft. It's under the nose landing gear assembly. It's the turning, and this is called as the angle of rotation. In this image you have to see this is the aircraft is the turning position. It's required the minimum or maximum 52-degree radius for the turning. This is the front view and side view of the aircraft. The front view is total span is known as the wingspan, and this is the wheel tread or wheel tread of track. This is known as the wheel tread of the track. This is the front view position, and this is the side view of the aircraft. Its total is known as the length. It's the maximum length. This is main gear and nose gear. This is the distance between nose gear to main gear is the wheelbase, and is the side view of the aircraft. At the time of the design or construction of the taxiway, we know that its size of the aircraft is very important. Next characteristic is the minimum circulating radius. There is a certain minimum radius with which the aircraft can take turn in the space. It is the radius depends upon the type of aircraft, air traffic volume, and weather condition. The minimum circulating radius, it is totally depend upon the size or type of the aircraft. Also, it's depending on the air traffic volume. It's peak hour time or off time, and also it is also important to weather condition of the airport. The radius recommended for the different types of the aircraft are as for first small general aviation aircraft 1.6 km, for bigger aircraft 3.2 km, piston engine aircraft 13 km, and jet engine aircraft we require 80 km. For the radius recommended, we have to the minimum circle radius we have to recommend for the different types of the aircraft. Thus it's have a small aircraft or small general aviation aircraft, that's a minimum circle radius is the 1.6 km. If the bigger aircraft, there's a passenger bigger aircraft is a 3.2 km. Next is either piston engine aircraft, we need the we have to recommend 30 km minimum circle radius, and is important the jet engine aircraft we require 80 km is for the military purpose or military aircraft. This we have to recommendation of the minimum circulating radius which different types of the aircraft we have to using. Is the same image. Next characteristic is important is the speed of aircraft. The speed of the aircraft can be defined into two ways, that is the cruising speed or air speed. The speed of the aircraft is totally dependent on it. There are the two types is the first is the cruising speed and second one is the air speed. Cruising speed is the speed of the aircraft which with respect to the ground when the aircraft is in flying in position to in air its maximum speed. The cruising speed it is nothing but the speed of the aircraft which with respect to the ground, and it's in the position of the in the flying position in air it's have the maximum speed. Next, airspeed is the speed of the aircraft is relative to wind. The air speed, it is totally depending on the uh, wind position or wind blowing. If the aircraft is flying at the speed of 500 km per hour and there is a heavy wind of the 50 km per hour, the air speed will be 450 km per hour. Then if any aircraft is the flying position or flying with the speed of the 500 km per hour and there is the wind is blowing or the wind speed is the 50 km per hour, then the air speed will be 450 km per hour. That is the air speed is nothing but is equal to the flying speed minus the wind speed or wind head of the wind speed. Next characteristic is the aircraft capacity. The number of passenger, baggage, and fuel that can be accommodated in the aircraft depends upon the capacity of aircraft. The aircraft capacity is totally depending upon the number of passengers we have to travel, and also the baggage and fuel it can be accommodated in at the time of the traveling. Next characteristic is the weight of aircraft and wheel configuration. The weight of the aircraft is directly influenced the length of the runway as well as the structural requirements, that is the thickness of the runway, taxiway, apron and hangars. The weight of the aircraft is directly reflects the length of the runway and is also as well as the structural pavement or the structural rigid pavement or strong pavement, and it's also depending upon the thickness of the runways, taxiway, apron and hangars. Next characteristic is the jet blast. The jet blast, it is the blast that comes out the jet engine at the rear of the aircraft and provides the force moment of the aircraft. Jet blast is coming from the jet engine of the aircraft and it's provided for the time of the force of the movement at the to the aircraft. Next, but if we consider it in the case of where the aircraft is in the standing position and the jet blast is coming from the rear, that it is so hot and it creates the server condition for the things on which it will be falling. That is, if we consider that the aircraft is the standing position or is the stopping position, and the jet blast is coming from the rear or jet blast is coming from the jet engine. That is a very so hot and also it creates the some server condition or critical condition for the it will be a failure or falling. So the servicity is the going to depend on two things. That is, one of the is the height of the tailpipe from the ground uh, and angle of the tailpipe through which the jet blast will be coming out the tail end. Then there are the servicity is going on in two ways or two things. The first is the height of the tailpipe from the round and the second one is the angle of the tailpipe through the which this jet blast will be coming out the tail end. So if it is in the upward direction, then it will be go up. If it is in the downward direction, it will be create the pro effect on the pavement on which the aircraft is the standing, and therefore there is a need of the erect the blast fences which can control the damage the building or damage to the pavement also. Then it is the aircraft or a jet plus is the upper in the at the time of upward direction, that it will be go to upper downward direction and it will be create to pro effect to the pavement or the structure of pavement, and it which the aircraft is the standing and is or the aircraft is the standing position or the stopping position. Therefore there is a need of the erect the blast fences. We have to needing or require the blast fences to can be control or preventing the damage to the building and also damage to the pavement. Here is seen that the jet blast is coming from the jet engine. Here is that the This is the standing position or the stopping position. We need the at the time of the blast fences to controlling the damage of the surrounding building or terminal building, and also preventing the damage from the of the pavement. This happens the very it's a more time we have to see the at the stopping position or at the time of the takeoff position or landing position. It will be it was a happen some cases. Next important characteristic is the fuel spillage. At the loading apron and the shelter, it is difficult to avoid spillage completely, but effort should be made to bring it the within minimum limit. That is at the time of the loading or at the time of the filling the fuel in the aircraft in the aprons or the shelter, it's very difficult to control or we have to avoid the spillage of the fuel, but it can be it will be we have to minimum this fuel spillage. Then the flexible payments are seriously affected by the fuel spillage. That is the flexible payments or the structural payments is very seriously affected by the due to the fuel spillage. Here we seen that the aircraft is the surrounding is the fuel spillage. This is the fuel spillage. You have seen that is very seriously or very critical for the flexible payment. Next characteristic is the wind coverage. The wind coverage or usability factor of the airport is the percentage of time in year during which the crosswind component remains within the limits as specified above the wind coverage. As calm period. This is the period for the which the wind intensity remains below 6.4 km per hour, and this is common to all direction, hence can be added the wind coverage for the direction. That is the calm period is equal to 100 minus total wind coverage. That is the wind coverage you have to covering the usability or usability factor of the airport for the percentage of the time in year during which the crosswind is component remains within the limits of the specified above with wind coverage, and the camp period or calm period is the period which wind intensity remaining is the below the 6.4 km per hour. That is wind blowing speed is the below the 6.4 km per hour. That's and also we have to calculate the calm period is equal to 100 minus the total wind coverage. Here is seen as the crosswind or the crosswind is the affected to aircraft. Is a touchdown. This is the main runway center line. This is crosswind component thrust vector runway component. In this picture you have to clear the this is in the takeoff position or takeoff of the position of the aircraft. Is a takeoff pitch altitude. That is nice. It's the best climb speed. You have to getting the better speed, and also safe maneuvering altitude climb power. You have to opposite in the wind blowing is the coming. That's we needed we have to control the wind blowing at the in the airport section. This first is takeoff roll, second lift off, and third one is the climb, and last one is en route climb. This is a perfect safely takeoff of the aircraft opposite to wind blowing or wind speed. Next, crosswind component. It is not possible to obtain the direction of the wind along the direction of the center line of the runway throughout the year. On some day of the year or hour of the day, the wind may be blowing a certain angle with the center line of the runway. The crosswind component is nothing. It is not possible to blowing at the opposite direction or at the direction of the runway, but it is some of the day or some of the year of the day or some of the hours in the day. It's possible to wind may be blowing it from the cross section or cross wind of the uh, runway or taxiway. If the direction of wind is at an angle of runway will be v cos alpha, and that normal runway center line will be v sin alpha, where v is the wind velocity. That is, if the direction is the wind is the angle to the runway is the angle of the runway, it will be, we have to denote it v cos alpha, and if the wind is a normal to the runway at the center line, we have to denote it v sin alpha. That is, v is nothing but the wind velocity. The normal component of the wind is called as the crosswind components. The maximum permissible crosswind component is totally depends upon the size of aircraft and the wind configuration. That is the FA for the FAA 15 km per hour for small aircraft, 25 km per hour for mixed traffic, and as per the ICAO classification or ICAO is 35 km for the big aircrafts. That's the wind crosswind component is totally depending upon the size of the aircraft and the wind configuration or wind speed or wind velocity. For the small aircraft is the 15 km per hour, and also the 25 km for the mixed traffic, and as per the ICAO the 35 km per hour for the big aircrafts. Here is in that the wind is the wind direction. The crosswind is coming from the some day in the yearly or the some hour of the, but it is v sin alpha, as w is the speed of the v, that v is nothing but the wind velocity. Tw is the tail wind, hw is the head wind, and is the crosswind or crosswind. This is the v sin alpha, and this is if the winds blowing from the at the central of the runway is known as the v cos alpha. Okay, today we have to stop here. In next video lecture we have to see the remaining point of the airport engineering topic. And one appeal and one request to all the students, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you so much.